some of these companies you see here. Familiar game titles like Tomb Raider and Battlefield and Max Payne have a lot of demo scene guys behind them. And they're getting now where they're even starting their own companies, as many game developers are. In fact, one funny thing is that some of these big-name European sceners actually have moved to the US or Canada. Never know about it because they've retired from the scene. They mainly just come here to work. So if you go to like the San Francisco area, you'll see a lot of like old school guys around that area, or Montreal, where a lot of the French guys move for Ubisoft, I think. Big name coming from the scene is FutureMark, called Mad Onion at one point. Do the 3D Mark, that is essentially a commercial demo because it comes from some guys, mostly actually from the Amiga scene of the mid-90s, who actually came back under the guise group of Mature Fork, which is FutureMark Scrambled, and won the assembly compo in 2001 with an Amiga demo. So yeah, they're showing the best on a PC, but I think they remember their roots. You have these startup mobile companies who do games and other kinds of little applications. It gives them a chance to keep playing with new platforms like they like to. And you have guys who do just like network PC security stuff, mostly party organizers, and that handiwork definitely comes back in terms of setting up demo parties and their network. And finally, we compare demo culture versus mainstream culture. It sort of seems like a weird subculture, but it's like, how could this ever expand? How could this ever become popular at all, or will it just die out? Well, there are some interesting parallels in the US that you can compare it to. First one is VJs. They take cool-looking animations and effects and stuff, and they mix them together in real time. And if you look at a lot of demos these days, they're really inspired by the type of stuff that VJs do. It's just they're doing it in real time. So VJs have their own set of tools that they use to put these things together. Then you have what's called machinima, which are movies, if you will, created from game demos or game engines. So it's basically showing your dude going around killing stuff and then talking seriously about something dramatic. I don't know. Now, I'm not a big fan of machinima, but it's that, computer creativity. It's at least creativity on a computer rather than going the other way and just playing it. So at least they're trying something now. Music videos and animations, which computer animation has, of course, improved tremendously over the years. So you're seeing some pretty creative stuff come out on the TV and on commercials. And you could actually say that some of it has influenced a lot of modern demo design. And in fact, I'm sure some of the demo sceners went on to some of these design agencies. You have the chiptune 8-bit retro comeback. Chiptunes are actually pretty big now. They were originally little, like 10K tunes on Amigas, and of course the entire Commodore 64 sound can be considered chip music, named for the sound chip on the computer. Somehow popular again, it's a nostalgia thing, I'm sure. There's one event in New York City called the Blip Festival that last November or December. There were like 20 or 30 artists at least over 3 days doing like Game Boy music and stuff on stage, and it rocked. It's pretty popular in Japan too, actually. So if you're into that, I heartily recommend that you show up at Null Sleep's seminar, because he was there and he's one of the big names in that business. Then there's Flash. I don't know what the deal with that is. You see a whole bunch of Flash animations now. And Flash isn't too embraced in the demo scene. It's a method of being creative, but I guess they consider it too easy to do and so forth. And then, of course, we come to the question everyone wants to know. Where are the girls? Come on. Now, you saw those first pictures from the 80s copy parties, a bunch of boys sitting around a TV watching porn. So there's one of your answers. But yeah, as it was really an underground thing that nobody got at the beginning, yeah, it was mostly just male geeks doing that type of stuff. But you see all these other things here that have parallels to the demo. So you see more and more females showing up at these types of events now, just because they get it. At Breakpoint, at least back when they were letting girls in for free, I think like maybe 10 to 20% of the visitors were girls. So that's actually pretty good. It sounds bad, but it's actually pretty good. So we could go on a lot. It's like, well, why is it a guy versus a girl thing? But that's not my department. And we're running short on time. So conveniently, that's the end. Here's some websites that are pretty popular for the scene. Scene.org is a huge file repository. Poet.net is a great review site. Unfortunately, it has like guys posting weird pictures. So you just got to be careful of the freaks that are on there. Bitfellows is a cool site for people who are getting sick of Poet. A lot of old veteran sceners there, actually. So it's like mostly forums. Demoparty.net, I believe it is a really nice list and map of upcoming demo events. Scenemusic.eu is what they call Nectarine. It's like a net radio for mod and old chip music and some newer stuff as well. Naturally, at this point, I have to plug my Mind Candy DVDs. Actually, I should say ours, since I just did a teeny bit. Trickster should get the credit. Yeah, if it's the easiest and best way to see demos. We've had years and years of experience, and we spent years and years of time to make them. There are 2 right now, one for PC, one for Amiga, and conveniently, we have some here with us. If you haven't checked them out yet, by God, ask one of us. They're cheap and very resourceful. And that concludes my presentation right on time. So enjoy Block Party and Noticon.